I would like to ask your opinion. Do we have a duty with the buyer attorney? Because I have a transaction with the buyer, the seller already signed the offer and the buyer, but I have a very difficult time with the buyer attorney. He keep email me, question me, what is a buyer disclosure? Why I have to give it to his client? Because his client doesn't borrow the money, the transaction on cash. And when I explain to him what is the buyer disclosure mean, he's asking me, this is not your place. You cannot give my client buyer disclosure to sign. Oh my goodness. Before I have this meeting, he sent me an email. After I explained to him what is the buyer disclosure, he gave me a very difficult time. I would like to ask your opinion. Do we have to deal with the buyer attorney or we don't have to?
So Diane, just to clarify your question, I think I heard you say this is a cash buyer.
Yes, yes.
You just need proof that he has a cash, right?
No, because I sent the buyer an email to fill out the form buyer disclosure. It's normal in California. I always do
Is it
it.
a law? Is it a law in California?
Not a law, but it's a standard practice. We always send the buyer disclosure and seller disclosure to fill out and sign. But he upset. He said,
What is the disclosure asking
if you have
beside the financial?
a few questions such as the bankruptcy, and you have the bankruptcy, do you have any felony or blah, just a standard question.
But it's very, I get that too, Diane. I think you get a lot of pushback from buyers here in California. They don't want to share that much information. What I try to do is, give me as much information as you can. I would say something to the fact that, the buyer's requiring it from me. Not so much as, oh, you've got to have this, sort of thing, put your foot down. But yeah, I get pushback. I get pushback from
Oh, you do?
buyers.
Oh,
Yeah.
the first time I never had the pushback.
No.
Oh,
They do push back because, it's very detailed information. It's asking them very sensitive questions. But, they're important questions. We need to have them. But again, you're going to get some pushback sometimes, and I've experienced that. So I tell them, look, provide what you can, and then I'll give that to the seller, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and you're free to say, will not disclose, not applicable or whatever. They can respond, but the fact that you're covering yourself by asking the questions. So in other words, if it becomes later that these were ill-gotten gains, came from drug dealing, that's where the funds came from, even though it was a cash deal, you can say, well, I asked a question and they chose not to respond to that answer. I think that's how it typically works, because you're free to not answer questions in a questionnaire.
Oh, thank you. But do I have to deal with the buyer attorney? Do I have to email him and answer him and explain?
I would always send it to the buyer. And if you want to keep a relationship with the attorney, if he's really hand in hand, then send him a copy of the email. But the email is addressed to the questionnaire is addressed to the buyer. Okay, now if he wants to use his attorney to fill it out and consult with, that's between them, but you really should be dealing with the buyer, not the buyer's attorney.
Oh, thank you. That answered my question. So I don't have a duty to deal with
I don't think so, unless he says, I can't deal with you. My attorney won't let me deal with you directly. You have to deal with them. But the buyer is the person you're dealing with, not the attorney. It's like dealing with a CPA. I mean, you ask the client for the financials. Now, if he says, I'm not allowed to give them to you, you got to deal with my CPA, then you start dealing with a CPA. But most of the times they'll funnel it back through them.